Meghan. She's that yacht girl who tried reeling me in more than once. She's covering her tracks well now, but that prince hasn't a clue who he's dealing with until the coffers are empty.
It all began with a single interview, the kind that reverberates across headlines and floods social feeds like a thunderclap in a quiet room. What was billed as a casual chat about career highs and lows suddenly erupted into something explosive, sending shockwaves through celebrity and royal circles alike. Rory McIlroy, the golfing titan whose swings have conquered majors and whose life has always skirted the edge of public scrutiny, took a seat for what was supposed to be a straightforward discussion. Instead, the conversation veered sharply into controversial territory, a direct warning aimed at the heart of one of the world's most scrutinized marriages. Ah, Meghan, she's that yacht girl who tried reeling me in more than once, McIlroy reportedly said, his words laced with a mix of regret and revelation. Sly Fox nearly had me played. She's covering her tracks well now, but that prince hasn't a clue who he's dealing with until the coffers are empty. The quote landed like a grenade, peeling back the curtain on alleged past entanglements and potential future perils that could shock even the most devoted royal watchers. For years, the story around Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was one of fairy tale romance turned modern independence. They stepped away from royal duties, built a life in California, and positioned themselves as icons of resilience and reinvention. But McIlroy's words suggested something darker, hinting at a calculated plot and a web of ambition entwined with wealth, influence, and status. This wasn't idle gossip. It was a claim that could unravel the carefully polished image of the Sussexes. Sources close to the situation whispered that the interview was far from spontaneous. McIlroy, fresh off his own personal upheavals, including a high-profile divorce filing and reconciliation, seemed ready to unburden himself publicly in a way that commanded attention. The timing felt deliberate. It coincided with renewed speculation about cracks in Harry and Meghan's union, fueled by solo appearances and increasingly strained public outings. Now McIlroy's intervention added fuel to the fire, portraying Meghan not as a victim of palace intrigue, but as a strategic player navigating a high-stakes matrimonial game. The public reaction was immediate and polarized. Supporters of the couple dismissed the claims as bitter grumblings from a man nursing his own wounds. Critics, however, saw validation in the allegations, echoing long-whispered rumours about Meghan's pre-royal life, the infamous yacht girl label. The term evokes glamorous yet shadowy worlds, where ambition meets opportunity on luxurious vessels, far from prying eyes. McIlroy's allegation wasn't new to tabloid rumour mills, but hearing it from someone claiming first-hand knowledge elevated it from gossip to potential scandal. Questions erupted across media platforms. How did McIlroy and Meghan cross paths? What did he mean by reeling me in? And why issue a warning to Harry years after the royal wedding? Insiders claim the golfer had kept his silence out of respect for the royal connection. But recent events, and perhaps Harry's own reflections on sacrifice, pushed him to speak. This interview didn't just expose personal grievances. It hinted at a larger narrative of deception, one that could force Harry to confront uncomfortable truths about the choices he has made. In the world of royalty and celebrity, silence often speaks volumes, but when someone like McIlroy breaks that silence, the echoes demand attention. What began as a sports star's candid moment has now morphed into a referendum on trust, money, and the illusions of love. As details emerge, the story builds layer by layer, revealing a far more complex picture than the polished portraits fans have been shown. To grasp the weight of McIlroy's bombshell, one must rewind to 2014, a time when Meghan Markle was navigating the choppy waters of post-divorce life and Rory McIlroy was riding high as golf's golden boy. Fresh off her split from producer Trevor Engelson, Meghan was actively building her public profile beyond her role on Suits. She immersed herself in social circles that blended Hollywood glamour with international elite influence. It was during the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, a viral phenomenon where celebrities doused themselves for charity, that their paths reportedly crossed. Meghan nominated McIlroy, and his response sparked instant chemistry and chatter within mutual social networks. Photos and rumours from that era show them together at dinners and events, standing close, smiling broadly. Sources claim it was more than friendly banter. McIlroy, recently out of his engagement to tennis star Caroline Wozniacki, was reportedly drawn to Meghan's charisma. She had this way of making you feel like the centre of the universe, one insider shared. Yet, beneath the charm, whispers suggested calculation. Meghan's lifestyle blog, The Tig, gushed about McIlroy as the real deal, a cherished friend. But according to claims now resurfacing, it may have been a strategic alliance. McIlroy's world offered access to wealth and influence, yacht parties in the Mediterranean, exclusive gatherings where deals were struck over champagne and connections. The term yacht girl gained traction here, not as a slur, but as a descriptor for women navigating these elite environments, blending companionship with opportunity. Allegations claim Meghan was familiar with these circles, introduced through mutual contacts in entertainment and sports. McIlroy, in his interview, alluded to attempts at reeling him in, flirtations that went beyond casual, aimed at securing a foothold in influential social networks. Within his affluent world, McIlroy described encounters where she was always present at the right events, her laughter calculated, her attention focused. These weren't accusations of impropriety, but of strategic ambition. Friends of McIlroy claim he saw through it and eventually pulled back. Avoiding escalation, she was persistent, but Rory was no fool. One source said the fallout was quiet, no public drama, just a fading friendship. Meghan continued on her trajectory, leading her to Prince Harry in 2016, but the echoes of past connections lingered. Tabloids at the time hinted at romance, but deeper investigations now reveal a broader pattern. Meghan's rise involved building key connections, from chefs to athletes, each step strategically enhancing her public brand. McIlroy's alleged warning revives these shadows, suggesting her past wasn't erased but quietly managed within royal circles. Such histories attract scrutiny. Harry's team reportedly vetted Meghan, but questions remain. Did they dig deep enough? Claims of scrubbed photos and silenced witnesses only add to the intrigue. As this chapter unfolds, it becomes clear the past isn't buried. It's waiting to resurface, forcing reckonings long overdue. The heart of McIlroy's interview lies in his direct address to Prince Harry, a plea wrapped in caution. That prince hasn't a clue who he's dealing with until the coffers are empty, he reportedly said, delivering a mix of sympathy and urgency. Sources claim this wasn't spontaneous. McIlroy reportedly considered a private conversation but chose the public stage for maximum impact. The warning centered on Meghan's alleged motives: a wedding for wealth, a strategy to access royal resources and leverage them for personal gain. Harry, in McIlroy's view, was blindsided. His infatuation reportedly clouded judgment. McIlroy allegedly urged Harry to review the prenuptial agreement, a document shrouded in secrecy but rumoured to be ironclad. "Look at what you've sacrificed," he reportedly said, pointing to Harry's departure from royal life, loss of titles and strained family ties. This sacrifice, he implied, was part of the ploy. Harry gave up his world while Meghan built hers. Insiders allege McIlroy's knowledge stems from shared social orbits and first-hand observation of Meghan's strategies. "She's a sly fox," he reportedly said, evoking images of careful pursuit and calculated moves. The interview framed Harry as the unwitting mark, his vulnerability exploited through grief, desire for normalcy, and past loss. Within Harry's camp, reactions are muted, but whispers suggest unease. Has he questioned the prenup? Legal experts note such agreements protect assets in high-net-worth marriages, though fraudulent intent could prompt challenges. McIlroy's words cast a harsh spotlight on Harry's choices and consequences. From the media storms to the California empire, questions remain. Was it love or leverage? McIlroy's warning extends beyond money, touching on legacy. Harry's children, Archie and Lilibet, hold titles tied to a lineage now shadowed by renewed claims. Intervention sources say the goal was to awaken Harry before irreparable damage, but silence from Montecito speaks volumes about calculation. or denial. As this revelation grows, the narrative shifts from romance to reckoning. The phrase yacht girl hangs over McIlroy's claims like a storm cloud, evoking a world of luxury, strategy, and shadows. It's a term from elite circles referring to women who attend high-end yacht parties, often as companions to wealthy men. Blending ambition with opportunity, McIlroy's accusations place Meghan squarely in the realm of calculated social navigation. He allegedly claimed she tried reeling me in more than once during their 2014 encounters. Sources insist her involvement went beyond casual flirtation, creating a network of high-profile connections, from Hollywood producers to European magnates, often facilitated by agencies discreetly matching ambition with affluence. Allegations even tie her to super yacht events in Cannes and Monaco, where deals were made and alliances quietly formed over champagne. She was reportedly well known in these circles, insiders allege, citing photos now scrubbed from the internet. Skeptics call it baseless conspiracy, pointing to a lack of evidence and origins in anti-Meghan online forums. Yet McIlroy's purported first-hand account adds weight, describing deliberate attempts to draw him into her orbit while he was rising in fame. The label ties into broader whispers, linking to historical royal controversies. Rumours of associations with powerful figures, connections to high-profile networks, and past media scandals swirl online. Claims suggest Meghan's suits era overlapped with opportunities that supplemented income while building influential contacts. McIlroy warned that her past informs her present, a pattern allegedly leading straight to Harry's wealth and access. The evidence cited includes emails, witness accounts, and private observations, though none are verified. Still, the narrative persists, fueled by books, podcasts, and media speculation. In the royal context, the claims are explosive. Legitimacy depends on transparency. If true, the allegations could call the marriage's foundation into question. As scrutiny grows, the narrative fractures the image of empowerment, revealing potential calculation beneath the glamour. At the heart of McIlroy's warning lies the allegation of a wedding for money plot. Meghan's union with Harry is framed as a strategic maneuver designed to unlock immense wealth and influence until the coffers are empty. He reportedly described it vividly, painting a picture of inevitable depletion where royal resources are siphoned under the guise of partnership and progress. Sources close to the couple claim Meghan's pre-royal net worth was modest, hovering in the low millions from acting and endorsements, far from the opulent lifestyle she now enjoys. After the wedding, however, her financial trajectory reportedly skyrocketed, propelled by deals with streaming giants like Netflix, podcasts on Spotify, and their charitable foundation, Archie Well, which has evolved into a multifaceted empire-blending philanthropy with profit. McIlroy alleges this ascent was deliberate, orchestrated with Harry unknowingly sacrificing his security, familial bonds, and entrenched position within the monarchy to fuel her ambitions. The prenup, which he strongly advised Harry to review, reportedly limited direct claims on core assets, but insiders suggest potential loopholes could favour ongoing support or shared ventures. Whispers from financial advisors and close confidants point to mounting strains. Sprawling estates, private jets, high-end security, and escalating legal battles against media outlets, quietly draining reserves. Harry's inheritance from Princess Diana, along with trusts established by the Queen Mother, are allegedly tapped at an alarming rate to sustain this image of independence. McIlroy's insight reportedly comes from observing similar dynamics in professional sports, where partners leverage fame and connections to build personal empires, often at the expense of the star's stability. The alleged strategy involved portraying Meghan as a persecuted figure, a victim of institutional prejudice and outdated protocols, turning their grievances into monetizable content. Books like Harry's memoir, high-profile interviews, and documentary series reportedly funnel millions into their coffers while casting a narrative of heroic defiance. Yet cracks are beginning to show. the Spotify collapse amid creative clashes, lingering uncertainty over Netflix deals, and Archie Wells' reportedly underwhelming fundraising suggest vulnerabilities in the empire they've built. McIlroy's stark warning to Harry speaks of looming emptiness, where sacrifices go unreciprocated and blind devotion bears a painful cost. Royal experts note historical precedents, highlighting broader constitutional implications even though the couple stepped back from official duties. Public funds have indirectly supported their lifestyle through allowances and security arrangements, raising ethical questions. If allegations are substantiated through leaks or investigations, they could trigger audits, stripping of titles, and a re-evaluation of their place in the succession. The narrative builds tension masterfully, forcing observers to ask, is this genuine love, or merely a ledger of calculated gains and losses? With finances tightening amid public scrutiny and shifting sentiment, the plot thickens, hinting at revelations that could reshape their legacy forever. McIlroy's pointed advice to Harry was clear: review the prenup and consider the sacrifices made. It cuts straight to the heart of the marriage's vulnerabilities, exposing fault lines long whispered about in elite circles. Sources claim the prenup was hastily signed during the whirlwind of romance, designed to protect Harry's royal assets, yet insiders allege Meghan actively pushed for favourable terms, anticipating the financial windfall from media deals and endorsements tied to her royal status. Harry's sacrifices stand starkly in this narrative. Eviction from Frogmore Cottage, loss of military titles, and estrangement from family, including his once close bond with William, paint a picture of concessions driven by subtle emotional leverage, not mutual devotion. Allegedly blinded by infatuation and the desire to escape palace constraints, Harry was guided into isolation, while Meghan framed the royal establishment as the ultimate adversary, justifying their dramatic exit and empire-building abroad. The puzzle deepens. If financial motives were real, the prenup could become a battleground, potentially contested over claims of undue influence, misrepresentation, or hidden clauses regarding intellectual property. McIlroy's warning calls for immediate scrutiny, especially amid growing divorce whispers fueled by separate public appearances and reported tensions. Hidden clauses may even govern Archie and Lilibet, impacting custody, inheritance, and public image rights. If a split occurred, Harry's post-royal life, high-paid speeches, ambitious ventures, and media projects is viewed as a blueprint largely drafted by Meghan, transforming his story into a profitable narrative. Subtle regrets have surfaced in interviews, hinting at disillusionment as the weight of lost connections bears down. Once framed as heroic sacrifices in a fairy tale romance, these concessions now appear one-sided, raising questions about reciprocity. What has Meghan truly given up for the life they share? The prenup emerges as more than a legal formality. It symbolises imbalance, one that could unravel the union if allegations prove true, leaving Harry to confront the real cost of his choices. McIlroy's explosive interview sent seismic shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, where a stoic public facade barely conceals intense behind-the-scenes strategy. Anonymous sources claim King Charles, long harbouring private doubts about his son's whirlwind marriage, now sees this revelation as validation, sparking hushed contingency discussions to safeguard the monarchy. Prince William, vigilant guardian of the royal future, reportedly pushes for emotional and institutional distance from Harry, viewing these allegations as a potential toxin to the royal brand. Publicly, the palace maintains its trademark no-comment stance, a wall of impenetrable reserve. Privately, elite legal teams are on high alert, monitoring developments, assessing reputational and constitutional risks. The resurfacing yacht girl allegations, with insinuated links to figures like Jeffrey Epstein, have reignited fears, reviving scandals that threaten not just personal reputations, but the legitimacy of the royal lineage itself. Harry's young children, Archie and Lilibet, positioned in the line of succession, now face intensified scrutiny, whispers questioning their place amid claims of deception, hidden motives, and carefully orchestrated narratives. Public opinion remains sharply divided in this polarized era. Ardent supporters of Meghan decry the accusations as vile misogyny rooted in outdated biases, while vocal critics demand thorough investigations, calling for full transparency to restore faith in the system. The media frenzy has only amplified the chaos. Tabloids, digital outlets, and social media platforms are unearthing purported evidence, from old alleged emails to shadowy witness testimonies, fueling a non-stop 24/7 cycle of speculation and sensationalism. Meanwhile, in sun-soaked California, where the Sussexes have carved out their independent empire, tension reportedly mounts to a breaking point, evidenced by increasing solo appearances, carefully orchestrated PR spins, and a noticeable chill in joint ventures. McIlroy's candid words have emboldened a growing chorus of skeptics, potentially driving a wedge that isolates the couple further from allies and magnifies vulnerabilities previously hidden behind a polished public image. The implications stretch far beyond personal drama, casting long shadows over the monarchy's ongoing efforts at modernization and relevance in an increasingly skeptical world. If these claims gain traction and prove substantiated, sweeping reforms could be on the horizon, from tighter vetting of royal partners to revised protocols on transparency and public disclosures. The ripples extend even into delicate realms of international diplomacy, where royal soft power shapes alliances, commerce, and global perception. Sponsors and partners are reportedly reassessing their associations, weighing reputational risk amid scandal, while the deafening silence emanating from the Sussexes' Montecito stronghold only fans the flames of speculation. Is it calculated defiance, a strategic retreat, or the quiet admission of looming defeat? As the waves continue to spread, the once unshakable facade of royal unity shows cracks, revealing strain and vulnerability. McIlroy's revelations settle into public consciousness, leaving the future precarious, with predictions swirling, divorce within months, titles revoked, exposés looming, Harry potentially seeking reconciliation with family, and Meghan's empire facing unprecedented scrutiny. What was once veiled in silence now threatens to erupt. Evidence, documents, and testimonies may surface, shifting stories from rumour to reality. The monarchy endures, yet at what cost? This exposure isn't mere embarrassment, it's a turning point where ambition collides with consequence, where silence ends and truth arrives. The stakes are higher than ever, the legacy of the Sussexes and the stability of the royal institution hanging in delicate balance. If you want to keep following this saga, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment below. Your thoughts could add to the discussion as this drama continues to unfold.